Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. I don't have a card pre-made to show you and I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this, but I have pulled out some green inks. I've got mint macaron, garden green, mossy meadow and shaded spruce, some blending brushes and the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, and I know for sure I'm going to use that one. And we'll probably do some black heat embossing with it, but beyond that, let's just see where it goes. So I've got a piece of thick basic white card here and it's a bit bigger than I want it to be, so I'll get inky with it and then I can trim it down afterwards. So I'm going in with some mint macaron first of all. It's quite a light shade, and just adding that along the top. Now I know that I want to add some water. I'm going to sprinkle this with some water, so I do want to have a decent amount of ink on here. So building that up like so. I'll just add a little bit more of that one before I go on to some garden green, which is darker than my mint macaron, so I'm quite happy to stick with the same brush. Just add some of that. Again, take off a little bit before I add it on, and I'm making sure that I'm going over the mint macaron as well to try and blend those two together. I want to bring that down to around about halfway, maybe a little bit more. Again, adding lots of ink on. Oops, maybe not quite that much, but hey, we'll see how it all works out. Right, I think I'm okay with the garden green. Then I'm going to go mossy meadow. Let me just close these ink pads before I get any more green ink on myself. And pretty sure this was the brush I used for that. Ink that up. It's more of a browny green on here. Blending that into the garden green as well. I really do hope this is worth the effort. Okay, and then I'm going to finish that with some shaded spruce. Just take off some of that. Shaded spruce. Okay. This is a bit of a workout. Blend that up into there as well. I think I've got enough ink on where I want it. Okay, so next stage. Again, closing them, getting them out of the way. Also don't want to get any water on them. I have a Stampin' spritzer here, just got water in it, and I'm just giving that a good spray, and you see the reaction that you get on there. Oops, didn't mean that. I want to just take off some of the excess water from there, and then if there's bits that I think could do with a little bit more, don't really think I got much on there, again dab off that excess. So you'll see the card has bent with getting wet. That's absolutely fine. What I'm going to do to give it a quick dry is to blast it with some heat. So that has helped flatten it a little bit, but certainly helped it dry out as well. Now, as I said, I have cut that a little bit bigger than I wanted it, so I'm going to just trim this down to 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres. I'm just taking in fact no, I will do 9.5 by 13.5, and that's give me a bigger border on my card base. Okay. I would definitely wait until your card is dry before you try and do that as well. Right, let me just get rid of that mess. So now I'm going to add some heat embossing on top. So embossing buddy on there, like so, just to remove any static and any sticky fingerprints. And I did have my Versamark card here. There it is. Over to the side. So inking up my stamp with Versamark. As I said earlier, this is from the Dragonfly Garden. Okay. And I'm going to pop that on there, like so. And I've got my embossing tray here, so I can take that over to the side and sprinkle on my black embossing powder. Again, hiding it from myself. Lovely. A little bit something rogue at the top there. That's fine. Just take that off. But I want to stamp it again alongside, so I will again ink up this with the Versamark. And not putting it quite as far up, like so. More of the black embossing powder, and I think I will do one more stamp on here. I should do there. Done with that. Like it. Okay, let's put this all to the side, and I'm just going to bring my heat tool back in to heat set that powder. Right, so it's kind of difficult to see, but there's lots of lovely glossiness there. Because it's quite a thin stamp, you know, it's quite detailed. It doesn't give you the same huge shine as you'd get with a very solid image, but it is a really nice effect, and the water spray on it has kind of smoothed out the lines between the colours as well. Oh dear, guess who didn't do that bit? Let's try and see if we can get some more on there. Keep set that. Note to self, remember and check that you've gone all the way down before you start touching bits. Right, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We'll live with that. So I have a card base somewhere. That is going to go on there, like so. And I want to put a sentiment on, but do I also want to perhaps add some of those little guys on there as well? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna pop some of those little dragonflies on there, and my sentiment is going to be thank you for your kindness. But what I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment on here with Versamark and do some white embossing. So this is my clear, don't want that one, I want the white. Okay. Now I haven't cleared out my tray, so I'm going to go old school. With a piece of scrap copier paper. But I will get my embossing buddy. On there. That is gonna ink up with Versamark and stamp that. Thank you for your kindness. White, definitely white. Dear. Right, so I have a little bit of a halo there from where I inked up. Just take a paintbrush and knock that off. Dry paintbrush, do the trick. There we go. And before I do anything else, I'm going to pop that back in there. Get rid of the bit of paper and put the correct lid on. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to stick with the black on this. So, just a little bit up here. Pop that on a block. Told you I was making this up as I go along. I just knew I wanted to do something with an inky background. And this cute stamp set. So let's just I'm just going to heat emboss these two bits now as well. Absolutely love how white embossing pops. I'm going to trim that. I'm just going to use my paper snips. Trim that straight as I can. Not very good with straight, but hey, I'll just put that as a bit of an angle and do the same there. So thank you for your kindness. I can't cover up that mess. I can just put it up there, quite like that. I'm going to have to neaten that a little bit though, not as straight as I would like. Okay, okay, so plenty glue on the back of this because I've got a bit of a bow on it with the heat embossing. And just try and get my margins about right. Pop that down. Give that a good press with a large block, which I've just noticed has got some ink on it, so let's be careful with that. Okay, there we go. And then this bit, just up here, and I'm not going to pop that up either. Up here, like so, and I think it probably does deserve a little bit of bling. And what will we have? How about we go with some festive pearls? I know it's soft succulent and I didn't use any soft succulent, but it is a lightish green, and we'll just do a few little dots around like so. So it's an interesting little background. I could also just, for extra bling, use my Wink of Stella, give it a little squeeze so I can see some fluid coming there, and I'm just gonna give that a little flick out there as well. And when that dries, it will give it a lovely little shimmer in the background as well. I hope you've enjoyed this. Just a little bit of playing around with some ink and some water, and heat embossing on top. Gives a lovely background. I hope you agree. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to click on that subscribe button. And if you click on the bell, you'll get a notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye.